Good evening, hello everyone, welcome to another Tuesday stream. I see several Christmas wishes already, thank you so much. Same to you. Here we don't say Merry Christmas yet, we will do it tomorrow evening. But, well, plus minus 1-2 days, no big deal. Time to drive the Mustang. I have not driven it yet. Oh, wait, I have to do one thing here. Controls... No, sound. Because I've put master volume to very max, which is not great. And we are into quali and I've not done anything like that. I don't even know why. It's gonna be 3 laps for... I don't know. What do I have to do here? Just drive, I guess. So, yeah, I have no idea how this car drives. Oh, I forgot to turn off the speedo. Well, I can do it later. Or I can just have it on for a difference. For a change. I've heard that the Mustang is very different than it was before, so I am very intrigued how this will work out. Yeah, the time has overtaken me a little bit, so I hoped I could do maybe 1 or 2 prep laps, but not gonna work. Wait, my audio is silent. Ah, it's straight into full push, right? Because it's tire warmers. I mean, it's a Mustang. One turn and I already feel nothing has changed. And then I get the snap. So supposedly it's a bit more difficult to keep it straight than before. I don't know. Like an American shoe, right? Is the audio a bit silent today? I don't know, it's... Maybe it's just my headset. Let me know, I can adjust if needed. Oh, that's way too much traction control. That's way too little traction control. I don't know, something like this. It drives nice. I've done 2 days of McLaren as I was developing the Go setup for Sebring, and this thing is just easier to approach compared to the McLaren. Oh, the grip on the front and the rotation. Okay, 2 more attempts. Good. Let's find a second or a second and a half. Okay, that's not how to find a second. Very positive. So like the suspension has been reworked, I think. It's pretty nice. Respect the bumps. Oh yeah, I have to. Trickier than before, I think, over the bumps. Just marginally. still think there is too much TC. Yeah, I have surely 3/10 in the last corner. Is it enough? So close. Well, one more attempt. Okay, there is something on the suspension that makes it a bit trickier than before. I can feel it now. Or maybe it's just the setup. Yeah, it's a Mustang challenge. So, you know, ABS 9, so there is, yeah. I don't know still the full answer about ABS 6 versus 9. Because 6 feels better, but 9 is actually better, more often than not. It's like 9 allows you to run more of an oversteady setup, which is faster, and then it's kind of a stability control on the entries, so you can survive the extra rotation. Do I have 2/10 in the last corner? I don't think so, but let's see. Those bumps are crazy. Okay. Gonna take P2 then. Oof. I mean, it's always quite an experience to jump into a server and have the quali as the first first laps, but you know, it's a Mustang, it just drives itself still. It's quite tricky over the bumps, but we survived. At least it's not 6-7 for ABS. Yeah, well. Ooh, 20 seconds. How much fuel do we need? I have no idea. 14 seconds, let's take new tire as well. Should be enough, right? Oh, I take too much. That's fine. As my virtual mirror is broken again. What happened to my tires, by the way? Why are they 82? Is that normal? I thought they were... with tire warmers, I guess they start at 80. And without, they start with 50. Okay. Turn 1 at Sebring in P2, one of my worst nightmares. Cannot send it around the outside because understeer and be absolutely obliterated by people sending it on the left. But here we go. Need to be really gentle over those entries. Ah, wait, TC. I've not fixed the TC resets. I guess that max pedal force didn't reset because it's in the setup. And I adjusted TC only in the cockpit menu on track, so that did reset. What did I run? 4, 7, 8. I guess that's fine. Maybe brake bias slightly more to the rear. And let's find some form, some stability, and then let's find a gap. Because I would still like to win this. This car is absolutely unbalanced on the default setup. Well, Daniela, I feel quite balanced now. Maybe depends on the track. Or maybe I say that because I was driving the McLaren for some days. And the McLaren on the default setup is... well, it's not bad, but it's not easy. Wait, what was the car that I drove last time? It was the Corvette at Le Mans, right? The Corvette at Le Mans was horrendous. The biggest understeer and oversteer combined at the same time ever. Was still a fun race anyway. Two different two-wheeled cars at the same time, okay. No, but like, I know for the McLaren that it's so difficult to make it work, but it's possible to make it work. Like at Qatar, normally you spend like, as a setup engineer, you spend 3-4 hours on a setup and a hot lap. If you know roughly how the car works. I just spent 3 days at Qatar. I just couldn't make it work. But I needed the setup. Well, for Go setups and for today, because today we are doing the GT3 Championship at Qatar. And I wanted to check how the McLaren works. So I'm taking it and I had to make it drivable. And I think it's unrealistic to expect the default setups to be all fine-tuned like that. But I think this Mustang, it's alright straight out of the box. Yeah, the rear is very far behind the front on this car, right? It's a big car. Back to rear, stepping out on throttle, yeah. Kind of has been a Mustang feature, but to be honest, I like it. I can make it rotate like that on the exits. Well, that's quite a tight formation in the top 3, 4. I think P1 in the leaderboard is 2 minutes 1.6 or something like that. Let's see how close we get to that. Well, the Merc is a special kind of front engine. In all sims, basically. Drive it like Ricky Bobby. Copy, copy. Yellow flag into sunset corner, never a good sign. Can never know who is parked in the middle of the blind apex. 1.5. That's a nice lap time, I guess. I would have loved to have a rear stepping out a little bit now on exit of T1. What are those yellow flags for? It's people behind dying. I get trolled so often by this yellow flag. I'm like cautious, but actually it's for the cars behind. I hope one day the system is clever enough to recognize that the yellow flag only appears behind the incident on track. I don't know about the tight line versus opened line into sunset. I always prefer the opened line. I never could make the tight line really work, or I was never comfortable with it. You kind of avoid a bump, but you get a different bump. Very nice. Let's see how far, like how deep he goes on the brakes now. Still in the tow. Oi. Wow, okay. Copy. Oh sh. Well, I think we learned something today about the Mustang. What happened there? Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? Basically won the race, did the great move, and then absolutely killed it next corner. What is... I guess it's this suspension that makes the rear very, very bouncy. Yeah, okay, I agree that yellow... Oh no. Okay, well... That's awkward. It's these very little small movements that do something crazy, as if the car was just slammed onto the backer on the rear, but I don't think it is. I mean, we're gonna check the motec after the race. Wow, okay, but this is worse and worse. I mean, okay, I have absolutely cooked the rears now, so I shouldn't complain too much. What are the temperatures? 100 Celsius rear. Yeah, okay. Of course, it's going to feel like I'm on the packers all the time. Ay, okay. A bit of a DR donation, I suppose. But yeah, top 5 is still doable. Let's get it. Long time since I have binned it like this. It was really like out of nowhere. I don't know. In quali and in the first laps. Okay, let's get a good run here. In quali and first laps, that was one of the corners which I struggled the least at. The rear is slowly going down with temps, while I have really like gone full wheel spin to get back into the correct direction. Luckily I didn't get obliterated by incoming cars. Keep it smooth. Oof. Pain. Yeah, top 4 have quite good pace. So probably I shouldn't really look towards that, but battle for P5 is on. I see, Charlie. Yeah, that was a weird one. So yeah, the Mustang got a big suspension rework, but I mean, as I said at the start, it doesn't feel too different than before. It's just like, I mean, I don't even know, like it's super stable through that corner. I'm confused. I think maybe I was a bit on the limit with pushing the rotation and then I hooked some bump that I cannot normally feel on a normal line. I didn't hit the apex curb, right? It was just in the middle of the normal line. Okay, anyway. We will check the replay on the Motec very quickly after the race. Okay, that's a yellow flag. Oh, that's Boothby. The streamer is doing weird stuff today around Sebring. Well, that's a freebie then, thank you. What's going on? The rear temps slowly going back down towards 80s, so you can really feel more and more rear support as they cool down. But those bumps are really deadly. I don't get it. But I guess Boothby already pinned it on the entry. It's a really nice car though, like if you just drive it normally, it handles beautifully. Quite soft and nimble and slightly understeer on exits. But then add a bump or two and it's absolutely gone. He lost it mid-corner, yeah. Okay, well, let's get the P4 then. What? What is the car doing there? As if some damper was broken, but I know that that's not how LMU works. No, tires are fine, it's just something in the suspension. Oh. What is going on? Like really? What is this car? Well, the race is called Mustang Challenge or something like that. So yeah, I mean it is very challenging indeed. Just to stay on track. Then again, it's super smooth and stable, and then suddenly it just goes. Okay, one lap to go. But I really like this slightly more open line. Although maybe I get more of exit bumps on this line. Maybe it's the TC that's too low. And then because there is not much weight on the rears, the rear just bites you quicker on the exits. I don't know, 478, like it doesn't look like I have too little. Yeah, now it really feels like that the C is just overly restricting the power. But maybe that's required just to be stable. Who talks the most? I mean, I don't really watch them enough, both to know how much they're talking. Let's not bin it in the last corner. But I had one click of TC, or well, 2 clicks. I went 478, from 478 to 588. It's just suddenly much more stable. Just gonna check turn 1 exit again on this TC. And now it's fully controlled, like a bit of a rear happiness, but no death, so maybe it's the power cut, or maybe it's this one, I don't know. I would take 588 again if I had to drive. Although, I lost it on the entry, not on the exit. 2 minutes till the next race. Quick. Was good racing. He understeered a bit. So I get the position and then instantly next corner, bye-bye. Maybe it was... I touched that curb a little bit. I don't know, it wasn't like a big bump, it just slowly developed. Until I suddenly realized I'm not driving R Factor 2 anymore. And then I'm like, okay, a little bit of a slide, let's save it. Where is the steering lock? Whee! And then... Okay. That could have ended much worse. I don't know what else to say than that. Next race in 30 seconds. Oh dear. Let me just quickly delete whatever I am. Ah, come on. Close these logs, yes. Open Sebring. Chassis. I mean, we are riding the rear packer quite aggressively on this fixed setup. Like this thing up, but wait, if I check the suspensions, I can quickly tell you something. Turn 1. No, on the exits it's hitting that rear right packer quite a lot. So that's surely part of the reason. Wait. Yeah, it's bouncing against it. Of course it's gonna be stiff like that. And I guess it's same problem for the last corner. Yeah, it's heavily bouncing against the packer on the exit. Yeah, there you go. Who did this setup? Uh-oh. Why do we have so many drivers here? I didn't want a crazy race. I don't have a setup. I have not done a single lap around here. I have the Go setups. I can just load that. But I cannot show what I'm gonna load. If it's Gibo, then I will spam Gibo a little bit later. Maybe I could drive Spa with eyes closed, but where is it? I will load the setup. I will quickly check something. Something that I cannot show you. Oh, this is fuel times 2, right. Come on, what am I doing? My brain is absolutely fried. I'm loading the Paul Ricard setup, I don't care. Where are you? I hope that ends well. Okay. End of practice, unlucky. 7-minute quali. That should be 3 laps. Three or 4? I don't know, I'm just gonna load whatever. Oh, one more thing. I cannot drive this car without my beloved 380 wheel range. Is this the endurance pit lane? No, it's the normal one. Four new tires remaining for the race. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. So it's quite a cold track. So let's be careful. Why is P7 on wets? Whoa. Let's not do a Ferrari hypercar moment. Oi, 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 oi. Ooh! The anti-cut, like the sausage curve has been added there on the apex. First time I see it. Oh, understeer. Maybe I need less wing. I should have practiced. Marco Di Buono will eat me alive. Why is the tire times not going anywhere? So many people streaming LMU, like, yeah, I know that it's, yeah, maybe, I don't know how much of percent, but what was the number? Like, I think I checked the max viewing numbers and max playing numbers ever, and it was like a concurrent, what is it, was it 8,000 playing and 9,000 viewing at the same time? It's really cool to see the popularity of the game. Grip. Ah, there is no no rotation, and the track is super cold. Do we get... it's gonna be just one more lap, right? Or do we get 2 more? Let me not waste too much time. Lap times around 2 minutes. No, we get two attempts. That's nice. Okay. Tires have some temperature. Maybe I should have just completely closed the brake duct, so that now with the newly implemented rim heat transfer I would get quicker tire heat up. Oh, grip, I can feel it now. Oh, rotation. Where is the cut? I cut it. Why do I not get a cut for this? Oh yeah, the tire is here. Carry the speed into the corner. Wow, that's so good. I'm really missing the F1 cars that we had in R Factor 2, but this LMP2, at least the ELMS version, kind of brings a little bit of that F1-ish experience. They've done something with this bus stop, like it's better than before. And this is now the important lap. I have to tense for sure, but I don't know where to brake. But the Buono will improve, of course, as well. That's too late. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Big mess up. Ah, P2. P2 would be easy. No, I feel like I'm a bit front limited with the brake, with the grip on the brakes. But I didn't dare moving the brake bias more rearwards. So fronts after 4 laps are 78. We don't want them to heat up much more than this. Which means that I need to hide everything again. Take the new tire and then very nicely. Wait, we need full tank, of course. Still in quali session. One less click rear wing, I think. And then put one more click of front cooling. Before. So it's a 40-minute race and we will have to box. We will have to box. I don't know how much fuel will we need though. Nine laps? We're going... What was it? 63, I think. Warm up the brake. Thank you, Hyper. You too. AI for thumbnail. Yeah, no. I like to do my screenshots. Well, time to start. People behind still reacting to the ad on the bollard. No, why are you braking so early? He's still in 5th gear or what? Tires will take forever to heat up. Slipstream. I'm not on the minimum rear wing, so let's see what others are doing. Nah, it's fine. Slipstream is good. Didn't intend to go for it, but he defended. Track limit. Copy. I don't even know where I cut. Well, do we have the pace to get the Buono now? people that I have just overtaken put on the car very opened brake ducts, so they will have more pace later on when I'm starting to overheat the tire, but they will have it perfect. But maybe that never happens. Maybe my tires stabilize at 80. Okay, so what's the strategy now? I think if I fuel save just a little bit, I can get the extra lap done, and that could be quite useful or powerful. It's fuel times 2, so... I'm reacting to that muscle memory of the old LMP2, because it always snapped a little bit there, but this car is just planted. Well, the bus stop really feels different than it did before. So I need 6.7, yeah, I need just a little bit more fuel management. Pancake I did not. I think it's Mr. Wisniewski. But to be honest, I just took our Paul Ricard setup, which is based on the Nicodemus Paul Ricard LMP2, of course. But we did some extra clicks for the endurance event. And it had a little bit more rear wing, and I thought, well, I will make use of some extra stability. This car feels so good. Gain a 10th to Di Buono now in Sector 2. And Sector 1 is purple, so I think that decrease of rear wing just worked. Balance is good, car feels good, top speed is good. Oh, but that curb, the curbs I think have been kind of resurfaced. Hey Marin. The big Bessier that's about to eat me alive in the GT3 Championship. I don't really have the trust into the BOP, but I still took the McLaren, so let's see what happens. Last curb has been reworked, okay. Greetings, Nicholas. About the wet Bahrain race, it's after this. I think 1920 CT. I mean, it's not the whole race that's wet. It's whole practice and the start of quali and the middle of the race. Now I don't know the percentages and the chances. Short shift, full power, wow. The downforce is amazing. Well, I get purple Sector 1, but then Sector 2 is not that great. Is Di Buono actually running higher rear wing? 2.4, 2.8. So 2 seconds out of La Source. Let's see if it goes down to 1.9. Okay, maybe I have a little bit extra top speed. Nightbot with the warnings again, I don't know what happened there. He must be on like low to medium rear wing, like 2 or 3 clicks more than I, or maybe 1 or 2 clicks more, or maybe he just has a lot of rake. He's flying half a second per lap. Oof. Well, my tires are now perfectly heated up. Camera. Okay, yeah, there is a problem with camera, I know. The face camera is like flickering. Half a cut point copy. Gains like 2/10 through Pujon, which means that I indeed have a little bit of aero struggle. I mean, again, it's Paul Ricard setup with decreased rear wing, and there is no real high-speed corners at Paul Ricard, and the one that is high speed is flat out, so it doesn't matter too much. Well, thank you, Pancake. Yeah, I always say mentally I'm 18, physically I'm happy to be 24, but on paper I'm 32, so but once you're in late 20s and going into 30s, the age doesn't really matter that much anymore. It's more about the stress of the wheel spins and tire lockups that you get that makes you have grey hair now. It's more about lifestyle and so on. You can have 30-year-olds look like 50 or like 15. But man, I just started doing esports. I'm still pretty young. I have a decade ahead of me for sure of driving. Right? I hope. Why do I get cut there? Time to get some unlucky traffic. I watched Jardir stream yesterday at Le Mans. We've seen a couple of laps in the end. It looked like he got my unlucky traffic virus. It was crazy. I need to brake a bit deeper there. You DNF'd in the rain. Okay. I mean, it looked quite tricky. Now I hope that Di Buono gets absolutely stuck there, but I also hope I don't get stuck at Rouge. And then I also hope he's doing a lap less than I. But it's pretty easy to save the extra lap. Rainbow's Battle Royale, okay. Oh, you need a setup for the wet. Much softer suspension. Come on, top speed. I don't think I can say I did that overtake before around the traffic. Luckily the Porsche cooperated. You know, it's a completely different experience passing the GTs with LMP2 compared to hypercar. You just don't really get close on the straight, but in the corners it's crazy speed difference. I should have boxed before we caught the traffic. Or will I get the AMG? I don't think I can get the AMG. Unlucky. All good. And with hypercars you approach with 30 extra speed, but then you have the same grip in the corner. But here you just have infinite downforce. The Buono is getting held up a little bit, that's nice to see. Sorry. Have to dive. Dive the streamer badge. So what fuel do we need now? 63 required. Do I believe it? Tiny Paddle says 11 to go, game says 10 to go. Whom should I believe? Already catching the LMP3s. There should not be many of them. Dear Marco, please box. Please don't have enough fuel for extra lap. No. We're on the same strat. Adam, thank you for the sub. Welcome. So now it should be 8 times 7. I think it's calculating 1 lap too much. How much fuel do we need? I don't think we need 63. I think we need 56. Although now... Wait, Tiny Paddle still says 9. In-game says 8. 8 times 7 is 56. We need a bit less than 7 per lap. I should have done a bit of a better calc before. Laps of fuel. I'm reluctant to take 63, I'm gonna take 61. Yeah, let's see. So we will be done with the... Yeah, I guess indeed it's 9 laps to go. I just thought maybe if I take a little bit less... Wait, what's my fuel target now then? It's already going. What? Oh, that was some good thinking from the Porsche behind. Well, he took 8 laps. He took 8. I took 9. But we get 9, right? Or do we get 8? Tiny Pedal says 8. But it's 16 minutes now, and we are doing... it's gonna be close, right? Between 8 and 9. Oof. So if we are doing 202s, 203s, it has to be now 14 point gravel. Ay. And the Buono went into the gravel. That was maybe the LMP3. Right, it is 7 times 321. It's on the limit. I think it's just gonna be 8. I think it's just gonna be 8. Yeah, it's gonna be 8. I overfueled. So, well, 8 including the one that we have already done. So, 7 to go. It's 7 to go plus couple of... the Buono will cross the line maybe 5 seconds before, or 5 seconds after 0. Yeah, he has a gap now, yeah, of course. I mean, I guess he's done this race before, so he knows exactly what is it on the limit, but I've not done it yet, so of course have to be safe to have the fuel to the end. It would be easy to make it extra lap with some prep and good pace from the start. Actually, I don't have big enough ducts. Now it's going into 90 Celsius, which is on the hot side already. It was quicker for the first laps for sure. But maybe the Buono has done the ducts more opened, and he's now in low 80s, and he is happily doing still perfect grip on the tire. Well, 98, no, 89 and 87 is still pretty much spot on. But I think I will go into 90s soon. I just keep being surprised by how much downforce the car has. Very safe rejoin, but that was a clash with the Buono. Interesting. Now let's see if the Buono has some damage. It's crazy how the temperatures are still rising on the tire, and I mean it's cold track temp, 18.3. It's pretty cold, and I have I think it's 1575 ducts. So he crosses the line with 8 minutes. Wait, where? Here is the line. Okay. No, it's gonna be... He will not even have to lift to make it one lap less. I always lock up when I have traffic ahead. He wasn't particularly interested in taking all the track on the right. There goes the gap. I mean, it wasn't really a realistic gap to close it down. And these GT3s can just brake so late. I think people are running LMU on Linux, but now with this anti-cheat it's a bit more tricky. Now you have to talk to Devin. He played with Linux a little bit. Why is that not a cut? Front left, okay, yeah, it's way too hot. I would need like 25 blanking. It's crazy, almost open in low temps. Nah, let's not do that, sorry for the scare. Oi! The AMG has to be laughing. Hopefully. That was the second snap I had there. Well, it doesn't really matter. Big gap behind. Big gap ahead. Let's not dive the Mercedes again. Yeah, these snaps start to happen once the tires start going a bit deeper into 90s on the temperature. And also this car, I just have to put brake bias a bit more forward, I think, as the stint progresses. Of course, the rear wears more than the front. Minor stutters, not really. I don't feel anything different than before, to be honest. I mean, it could be just that texture loading. Was that a late dive? I don't think so. Maybe it was on the limit. What is it called? Texture streaming. Maybe that thing is causing or could be causing problems. I mean, I know that it does cause problems if you have textures on low. It makes people have crashes. Well, to be honest, today it was the first time in a long time that I have a game freeze. It was in a practice session, like in this practice server for the GT3 Championship. Suddenly everything just completely froze and the game unfroze in the main menu, and I got a notification that the online services are back because like my connection is back, but I didn't have a problem with my connection. Yeah, bugs. Well, obviously I'm spamming the devs with the traces, and I hope they have a way to fix everything. Bugs and bunnies, yeah. I have textures on high, I use the filter on 16x, and I have the streaming, but I don't know if I really experienced big difference in VRAM usage. I'm still kind of VRAM limited on the 3080 RTX. there is some other things going on. I was checking, I mean, okay, Task Manager is probably not the best monitoring tool, but I was like 70% of VRAM usage and 70% that's yellow flag, but I guess that's not for the leader. I was 70% on the 3D, CPU is nowhere close to any limit, but I still had some frame drops. Well, from 138 to 134, which is not a huge drop, but there was still something causing a problem, so I don't know. Either way, in the end it wasn't even close to a lot more. And I'm gonna cross the line with 5 liters, let's say. I could take 5 liters less. And 5 liters less would be 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I would be close to the Buono maybe at some point of this stint. Anyway, GG's. It was a nice race. Okay. 10 minutes to the next race. Let me just quickly check the start. I mean, it was nothing special really. But P2 just broke so early for turn 1, I was kind of stuck. I should have dived in the middle, but I was too clean. Luckily there is always good acceleration on the outside. Wait, this... Ah, he's on low speed gears. He was actually on max RPM. Unlucky. No, nothing special here anyway either. Just a pass. Okay. DQ. Uh-oh. Right. Let's actually check the results of the previous one as well. I've not yet checked them. How much I lost by before. And I will need a bit of glucose. I see 4.8 millimoles. While this is generating, I will check the first race. I lost DR. Uh-oh. Getting back on the platinum DR, SR, after the Paul Ricard races costed me a lot. Well, in the middle of gold too, not bad. Is this available yet? No, I guess the GT3s are still finishing the lap. GG Marco, nice pace. I thought for some moments I had the pace, but then I guess I had too much of brake duct blanking, so my tires went 90 plus and then I overfueled. Spa. Eh? I lost the DR again. I thought it's not possible to lose DR in P2, but I guess it still is. What? Wait. I lost rank. I gained the rank because in quali I finished 4th of 12th. I lost the rank in quali because I lost to 3 of lower rank. I gained 2 in the race. What? How does that make sense? Is it still this quali result counting so much towards it? Nightbot, why are you... sorry Daniele, I need to teach Nightbot some manners. I think there is like a couple of... I think it's like 20-30 capital letters string which causes the warning, but yeah. I saw something, you said something about endurance-based game counting too much of quality R, right? Unlucky. Anyway, quickly loading the next one. Bahrain, come on, daily. LMGT3 fixed. What car do we take here? You know what, I actually wanted to check the Ferrari. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. But let's register with it. Then go to settings, go to controls and put this off. Or back on rather. Okay. Does it make sense to even join the practice? I cannot even join the practice. Right, I need wait. I need a little bit of glucose because if this falls down below 4, I'm in trouble. So F2 engine. I mean, if it's wet, it's good that I have F2 engine, right? Anyway, BRB, 2 minutes. Glucose has been had. I've heard a Streamlabs notification. Thank you for the sub. Of course, I'm still not yet the pro streamer, so I don't even know whom to thank for. But thank you for the sub, much appreciated. 2 minutes and 45. So right, I have not checked. I have not checked. I should take the Porsche, right? It's just a good car in the wet. I have not checked how the weather looks like. I'm sure some streamers streamed. Oh, we have 2 warning drivers. But the weather, right? I don't know how dry it's gonna be. So it's progressing. It should be quite wet for the whole race. Anthony, pozdrav. It should be progressing, but I've seen in the past that the real road just resets and it's suddenly completely dry. Apologies. And if it's completely dry, the race start, then I don't know what's the best call. To make it dry or wet and wait for the... I guess you have to start on the slicks. What if the rain never comes? We will see. Oh, what was the last time I drove the Ferrari? It's been years. Have I even driven the Ferrari since we got the new tire model? Cannot even remember. Well, let's see. Lurker mode is still on. Great. Thank you, thank you. I should use wet tires. Yeah, I mean, if it's really progressing, then this will be just fully wet all the time. Not too many esporters doing these nowadays. I don't know what they are busy with. Busy with posting memes in Discord. I mean, that's important as well. It's mostly damp. Okay. And if it's a night event, then it will be cold. And then the slicks never really turn on anyway. Okay. It's not night. Okay. Let's see. What was the race when I drove the... I drove the Ferrari before the tires got fixed. I drove it a year ago in the GT3 Fixed Championship. Or was it like 8 months ago, 7 months ago? Either way. Yeah, wet. 100% wet, 100% wet. Quali 5 minutes, that's 3 laps. Not sure what about TC. We will not use max pedal force. We will put brake bias quite a lot to the rear. And we will, of course, put on slicks, because why not? Sunny and rainy at the same time. That always looks good. Well, I must have driven it, the Ferrari, because like the camera position is optimized for what I like, so... Oh, yeah, okay. It's a funny car. And let's remember, we got the wet lines now. I don't know how exactly they work, but I guess this is not a good line into this corner. Hello, Ayus. This is gonna be a funny event. Okay, well, just drive. I think the brake bias was fine. Oh, and the wets don't have the warmers, right? The wets don't need the warmers. Yeah, I've got zero clue how the wet line works now. Like, it's think it said it was hard, it was heavy rubber. And then it's wet on the top of the heavy rubber. So it should be quite noticeable. Now this one just needs to be very tight, I think. Well, rain is always in Bahrain, right? If we use the worst joke possible, but I don't remember last time. Did we have? I think we had. I think we had rain in Bahrain one time in Formula Sim Racing League WC in 2017, and we used the real life weather plugin, but it was bugged or something. Or maybe it actually rained. I mean, it does rain in Bahrain now and then. But yeah, maybe a sandstorm is indeed more normal. Okay. The moment of truth. Do we have pace? Do we know how to drive in the wet or not? Well, here into turn 1 I think it's breaking off the rubber line. Then bring it over. But here it's not, I don't know. Maybe better to be wide. I don't necessarily feel that much of a grip difference, to be honest, but there is some. This is probably way too wide. Getting purple stolen. So what's the lap time? Dubai was flooded. Oh yeah, I saw some pictures. 2:13. Okay, that's not good. Oh, yeah. That's a lot of time loss. Maybe it's also just getting wetter. Try the inside line. Ah, that's just wrong geometry of the corner. So close, like top 6, 5/10. Slippery. Try the inside. Nah, I don't think it's ever really good in these conditions to try to find the grip on the inside. Makes sense. I think the wetness increased anyway, so it was good to be one of the first ones on track. Okay, let's see how much others improve, but this is very close. Ayus, alright. I mean, it's nice to have the rain here. Like, it's quite a good track to test the system because of all the kind of hairpins where you're kind of forced to take the braking line, like the wet line. Right, 20-minute race. Do we need... how many laps do we need? I guess 40... Wait, it's gonna be 10 laps max. Because we're doing over 2 minutes per lap. Mediums is better, is it? I got scared for the moment that I actually have mediums on. Yeah, I thought it would be a bigger question mark about what tire to take, but... brake force, did they leave it... Did it go to 100? I don't know, like it... I can feel the ABS activating anyway, and if I feel too much of it, I'm always just decreasing the brake pressure. Okay, that's gonna be interesting now. It's gonna be drying up a little bit, so the wet line is gonna be less and less powerful. I'm happy that I don't have any spray ahead. Oh, and I'm gonna be obliterated on acceleration by the AMGs, right? Looking very much forward to it. Not too bad, actually. And brake. Perfect. This is actually good, like brake straight, take that drier or like less rubbered road and just V-shape it for a very early exit. Not sure about here, maybe it's kind of similar. Oh yeah, the standings and the tire in the standings is still broken. That was a good line. And here I think it's just better to hug it around, or like not hug it, but go around the outside. Well, this is going remarkably well. Actually now, I mean, it says wet, but doesn't really feel like too wet. No LFM Pro, I'm not doing LFM Pro, it kind of slipped out of my mind and then it just started happening and I never really signed up for it. P2 is gaining a little bit. And here is the rain. It's quite bright with the sun. Yeah, you will have to root for Michi there. I mean, I don't even know what exactly is the point of LFM Pro. In ACC it was kind of a big thing, right? But it doesn't give such vibes now in LMU. P2 is gaining a lot. Need to learn a little bit from his lines. Well, Hyper, that's very nice to hear anyway. Deep in ABS and instantly under pressure. What line did he take there? Okay, inside is still more powerful. Yeah, maybe he's just driving normal line and I'm trying to do some rocket science for no reason. Yeah, well, I mean, with Michi it's a weird situation, as he's now part of actually like a completely different team. Though in the past years we were either part of the same team or like in a funny situation where we weren't really teammates, but actually we still kind of could be, or we could act as teammates. But now it's more difficult, but of course for non-esports races everything is still possible. Hausen, I tried AC Eva, but it was very short and sweet. I just went around I think I drove Suzuka with Camaro in the wet. And that was my only test, to be honest. Cody, it's Grid Engineering Porsche 911 RSR. I don't know, I mean exits for him are not great because he has the Mercedes, so he has less traction and doesn't have an engine on the back. I don't know how much of rubber has been washed away or how quickly it washes off of the track, because at some point there is not much more rubber remaining, although like the micro damage on the asphalt stays there, or like how is it called, where the line where cars drive becomes slippier because the rocks in the asphalt get kind of polished. So depending on the oldness of the road, some effects should still always stay. Ooh! Well, thank you so much. I think I still have the rear wing. No aero damage, just body damage. I don't know, that was out of nowhere. But alright, he let me through. Fair enough. I wonder if he got some damage as well on the front. My car feels good. That's nice. How did my rear wing not fly off? I mean, that's not realistic that it would fly off, because if you hit a car with bumper into the rear, it's not close to rear wing, but in some sims you get different kind of damage for different kind of contacts. That doesn't really make sense. Alright, thank you. That's a bit too. Rain has stopped. What's my brake bias? I don't know what to do with it. Ah, they made it stronger. Yeah, I've read about it. Although, no, I remember now. I've read that they changed the strength of the wing, but they didn't specify if it's now weaker or stronger, I think. Ah, way too deep. That was just full ABS. And yeah, the tires are melting. I need to be very, very gentle with the brake instead of going full into it. Well, in the past, in the RF2, the damage used to be quite funny sometimes. Oh, it was the poor Alex Siebel guy in one of the Formula Sim Racing WC seasons. If you come closer than 2 centimeters of his car, he was about to lose the rear wing almost, like, I mean, not really, but he just lost the rear wing so many times. It was tragicomical. And then some other people crashed hard and didn't lose it. Or some seasons ago I remember the settings being wrong, and if you crashed into the left side, you got damage on the right side. Yeah, it's slippery. It's quite an art to understand which line works better. But he's got crazy brakes, I don't understand. Maybe it's time for me to brake on the racing line into turn 1. But honestly, when you're crashing like that, you're not really touching the mounting points of the rear wing, right? So in case you're not really crashing rearwards or sideways into a barrier, it shouldn't really be that damaged? I don't know. I guess it's just better to struggle on a normal line with traction a bit than just V-shape it a bit more. You crash backwards, people. Yeah, that's problematic as well. Okay, I broke on the racing line and the Delta was happy with it. I think the ABS really doesn't like the rain. If you go heavy on the brake, it really destroys the brake performance, much more than in the dry. Oh, and the curbs with way too good grip. That outside into that sweeper is, I think, straightforward, grippier. Oh, this is the last lap. Good fun. Traction. Wow, I got helped. Nice help from P3. Oof. And now they're battling. Perfect. Let's not get rear-ended again. One of them is off. What a weird and what a fun race. But it really felt like the AMGs just have some advantage on the brake, sometimes. I don't know. Anyway. P1. Finally I'm gonna gain a bit of DR today. Yeah. Thank you, Dan. I'm just gonna quickly check that incident. Okay, it was here. I don't know, like I don't think he broke too late. Maybe he would have made the corner on his own, but I'm just like I'm braking as much as I can, and I was trying to go slow in, fast out. I don't really have much more grip than this. Is this a BOP feature? Donut time. I not much time for donut time, but much appreciated to Mr. Defort for being sportsmanlike and letting me back through. And this one was funny. So right, I go around the outside. Should have gone for the inside maybe in hindsight, but so here either he was gonna dive me or he was gonna help me, so he decided to help me and maybe get both positions, but I just parked it on the apex beautifully. And the traction on AMG. Or maybe it's just traction on this line, I don't know. GP2 engine on Ferrari, a bit of a friendly bonk and a bit of a friendly dive. Still on track, still on track. Leave him the space. Brakes a bit later, but I've got the better line on the apex. That was actually quite close. I left the brake a little bit not to have a touch. What? How do you call... no, that's not Deford's fault. He just understeered. It's kind of maybe a bit of AMG moment where you suddenly just lose all the rotation on the exit. He was just not even trying to rotate. That's a weird one. Anyway, time for the big final. Yeah, I'm gonna be the McLaren enjoyer now. I gained DR. So why? Okay. 2 hours up for quali, 3 hours up for race. Fair enough. But the quali still counts way too much. Anyway, we do the quick travel to Bahrain. Another McLaren enjoyer. Of course, Neil took the McLaren for round 1, right? And the Ferrari. And Mr. Manisha with the Corvette. Do I have time for practice? Nah, I'm just gonna do the cold tire outlap and then I have to go out. Anyway, maybe that's useful. Just clear my mind. I think I've calculated the fuel actually for this one. Setup. Oh, I have these ones. We load and we drive. -31°C. So now the problem is about the, what did I call it? Dubious BOP. No, it was I even forget the title of my own stream. Questionable BOP. So we've seen 53.7 from Lambo, looking at setup shops. Then we've seen a couple of 54s in quali trim from other cars. And then I was trying to do the McLaren setup. And I was doing 55. And I was like, well, why am I a second and a half of pace? Something is wrong. And eventually I made it into 54s. And it was a 54.8. And that's still a second of pace of the Lambo. And I stopped there because the car was as good as it can be without 2 weeks of full esports prep. So let's see today. Let's see the pace. These curbs are funny. If you coast across them with some cars, they will make you spin. But with the McLaren, the trick is just to be a little bit on the power already. Early apex and then on power, but not too much. And then it's perfect. Okay. Anyway. Let's join. I wonder if the standings are already working. I think the standings of the championship crashed last time. It just crashed the game if I try to open it. So my assumption is that I'm gonna be 4/10 off pole position. And pole position will be done... Well, there is no Lambo in top... I don't know how much. Lambo is a weird car. Super quick, but then you have to add 20 liters extra compared to some other cars for the race. Four-minute practice, I mean... Does it make sense to do it? Why not? It's quite hotter track as well. I never thought I would in a single day drive a Ford that's more unstable than the McLaren. Alright, I mean the Ford was on the fixed setup that was hitting the bump rubbers on the rear, and this is a very well cooked McLaren set, but still. Ford used to be like an immovable object. Cold tires. These corners are just scary in the race anyway, even on hot tire. Cannot really go close to the limit of the grip because it ends up in a big snap. The fronts are still relatively cold. And what's that gonna be, 57? Okay. Let's enjoy some McLaren then. 10-minute session. But I'll just take 4 laps because 5th lap is already a bit meh. Well, the setup has been loaded already, right? Actually, let me check something. What is my ducts? And the track temp is 37. Okay. Should be good. So 4 laps of roughly 2 minutes. I'll let the first batch of people put the real road down. Trusted racers. 32 trusted racers. Very nice. So many Ferraris actually. Only 1 Lambo. Okay, I guess we can go for some laps. What was that track limit for? Pit exit? There is still a bug somewhere, somehow. Not going for it yet. Cannot do much with 49 Celsius. Guppy, it is the slip angle of the front tires. If one LED lights up, it is, I think, around 3 degrees, and then it goes up to 8 degrees. I'm not really looking at it that much. I thought it would be more useful, but like I got it's called grid brows. These LEDs, I got them as a prize, so I just mounted them, and one day maybe I will use them for something else. Anyway, tires are kind of warm, so let's see how the pace is. 2 attempts. Ciclari 55-1, oof. Understeer still. Three tenths off. Not too bad. Yeah, now let's find half a second somewhere. $54.6. Never gonna do that. So my fear has been correct. Yeah, the McLaren is not great around here. I don't know why. This is half a second off what I did in the optimal conditions on the saturated real road. In similar temperatures. But even with that PB it would be 54.8. And I'm pretty sure the Lambas on max pace could do low 54s here. So yeah, it's dear Bob, The Ford just wants to spin. Yeah, I don't know, like, the McLaren was absolutely undrivable. I really spent so many hours to make it drivable and quick at the same time. Oof, well, difficult. Difficult. Where is my race setup? Fresh tires on the left side, of course. And I need to decrease my fuel ratio because we don't need the full tank, but I don't want to leak other stuff, so let me hide it. Okay. Porsche, Ferrari, Porsche, Ferrari. Porsche. Then a bit of a gap behind, and then the Corvette and the Mercedes. How is this gonna go? Well, that's quite a big range of pace levels. Or did the people just try to put a banker together just to start somewhere without destroying the tire? Or maybe got cut laps? It's a difficult track. On the exits it's so easy to just get a cut or run off into that gravel, so it's... With 4 attempts... it's difficult. It's difficult. Yeah, Jaime has 53.9. I saw 53.7. I think it was... I think it was our lap from Go Setups. I don't quite remember. No, but the McLaren, like, it's very good. It's very, like, enjoyable, very guidable through corners. It doesn't have crazy behaviors. It's a bit tricky in high speed, but I really try to make most of the downforce for this track. It really works. But yeah, that's the pace difference that I cannot overcome with the setup. Okay. 45-minute race. I think it should be... Oh, it's again that thing that it's already kind of making you be in the car as the session moves. Funny. 45 times 60, remove 5 seconds for the start, and then we'll be doing, I don't know, 116s. Yeah, it's gonna be 24 laps. 24 laps times 4, it's 96% energy. So I think I'm pretty safe with what I put into the setup. It's a real-time glucometer, yes, indeed. Goes through the cloud of the measurement app and then into the SIM hub with a plugin. And from SIM hub into the dash. And that's really nice to have. Quite a long wait here for the race start. I don't know why they put it to 2 minutes. 1 minute would be more than enough. I'm thinking about McLaren. Like, I did the 0.8, but I don't think any other setup shop has done this car. Need to check if somebody beat it. I beat Dominic Blair from Jaime by a 10th at Sebring. I beat who was it? Malinowski from Jaime as well by half a second with the McLaren at Paul Ricard. So I'm just thinking, like, it's not it could always be a driver issue or a setup issue going into the wrong direction, but on Paul Ricard and Sebring, this McLaren is really good actually. Well, Porsche is still better at Paul Ricard. Let's see about Sebring on Saturday. Justin, thank you for the sub, welcome. 3 wide. Uh-oh. That was good. Now I have to outperform the car to somehow keep P4, I think. Stop with the track limits. Okay. Tears per lap for BOP, copy. I think the McLaren just lacks overall downforce. The balance is very decent, I have to say. They spent all the downforce on F1. Maybe. I mean, it's not really... this setup is not really max downforce, but it's a very high downforce. And there is always things to do, like there is always too much rear wing available, and then if you put max rear wing, the car will just stop rotating completely and go nowhere on the straight. But you can always put crazy packers on the rear or crazy springs. Just sacrifice some mechanical grip on the rear just to put on extra downforce. But I did not want to do that. who fight for the lead. Great to see. Lower wing as possible. Yeah, I mean, Daniela, I kind of got similar feeling when testing the McLaren. It can get away with less rear wing, but I'm already almost dying now. I'm quite high rear wing, so I wouldn't like... I mean, I tried lower downforce, like less rake, less rear wing, but it doesn't quite work. At least not here. It works on most corners, but then you arrive at sector 3 and just lose way too much time. Almost driving it like a touring car. That's very understandable, Daniele. Would love to share my setup for this as well, but then again, I'm building setups for Go to be sold there, so... We are too professional. PayPal only. Yeah, that might be difficult. Come on, miss the curb. But if I put more rotation, the car will die. Yeah, I can do still, like now I lost half a second, but people ahead are just different league. Well, the Maka is... I don't think it's a bad choice overall, but on this track, it's not the best choice, no. Ah, track limits. Well, we got 5 points. I can cut quite a bit. I did not drive Fuji yet, to be honest. I'm getting like behind my schedule. I hoped I could do 3-4 more setups for McLaren at this point for Go, but I was just... there wasn't enough time to try everything. So I don't think I tried the Fuji set. I think I had a look at the values. But yeah, the car, like the McLaren, is overall understeery because it has to be made understeery. Otherwise the rear will kill you. But there is a way to make it rotate a bit more without it killing you. But it will still always feel like... I guess there is no way around it, but it will always feel like a front wheel touring car with lack of front grip and then the rear that wants to kind of step out a bit. At this point, people ahead doing low 56. I could do high 56, but yeah, the effective gap in BOP is 7-8 tenths, I think. No. And the McLaren will always struggle a lot in long corners and in heavy braking zones. But it's very happy to brake a bit and then to have quite a straight. And the sharper the corner, the happier the rear and the front. Maybe I have made it a bit too safe even, but in high speed I'm kind of losing the rear a bit. Yeah, that's the problem with McLaren overall. It has a very tiny window of operation. You can make it very well handling, but you will Like, it's impossible to drive it on the limit. Gonna be a weird race till the end. Top 3 just have crazy advantage in pace. P6 onwards are slower. And here I am trying to defend P4 from a much faster Porsche. That wishes that he was ahead of me after lap 1. I've got the top speed, right? 55.8 Ciclari, 57.4 for me. I did defend a bit. And the dive is coming. Where are you going? He will get more and more aggressive. But I cannot afford defending too much, because then Manisha will catch us. Hi Carson. It's nice that the car is kind of decent through the last 2 corners at least. 3 wide for the lead ahead or what? They're having fun. What's the chance that they have an incident in the fight for the lead? What do you think about LMU FFB? It's the best FFB ever. The problem is that the tires are not where they should be, but I still think this is the best GT3 tire on the sim racing market. Though, of course, my feedback about that is biased, as I grew up in R Factor, so I will always like this way of feeling. they keep fighting ahead. Great to see. I wish I was closer again. And that's a dive bomb incoming. 3, 2, 1. Hello. I mean, I don't think I turned in on him. He was diving from very far behind. I mean, I called that it's gonna be a dive bomb. I left a bit of space. He hit me and ran. Should I waste some live steward's time and protest him after the race? Doesn't look like he has any intention of letting me back through, so oh well. Difficult to defend against somebody that's prepared to do something like that. Because he would not overtake me there the way he was behind if he tried to make it clean. Did I turn in on him or what? I don't know. I think I did a perfectly reasonable line. Luckily no spin. Anyway, have I sufficiently responded about the LMU FFB? It does feel a bit broken in a way, like when you turn in the wheel stiffens and then at some point you just kind of lose all the details and suddenly you get into how would you call it, like centering spring feeling? But that's more the case on cold tire. And then again, that's not FFB problem. FFB just says what's in the tire, so that's a tire problem. And then yeah, now the tire is bad, but other sims don't even have a tire. iRacing is on some hovercraft things. ACC is on wooden blocks. Race room is just a drift machine. I don't know. This is as good as GT3s get. Now the Corvette behind. I hoped I would keep some advantage of pace, but well, that was 7 tenths lost. I tried AC Evo, but I don't know, it doesn't feel anything different than any other Kunos game. And then I just tried. I mean, I tried the Camaro. Maybe I drove 1, 2, 3 other cars, but just for like 3 corners. I don't even remember. The AC, the old AC FFB can be quite decent if the cars are fine-tuned perfectly. And then again, what is FFB? What should you feel? In real life, you don't really feel that much. sometimes because you feel through the body. It's hard to say what's better and what's worse objectively, so of course people are divided. But I think AC1 FFB can be quite good, but it's always a bit dull. Just because of the tire model. But R Factor 2 and LMU is always alive, but the tires are a bit meh. And now here comes a dive bump. The Corvette is really good on the straight. But it struggles to put the power down, so... I've not tried after 0.4 update. I've tried months ago, so maybe it's a lot different. But honestly, I just didn't have time to even think of trying it. And overall, it would be great if I was able to get some great content out of different sims. But my role number one in sim racing is being esports driver for a team that's yet to be announced. And I need to orient all my driving and testing according to potential future Le Mans Ultimate esports. And there is so much that has to be learned in LMU still. I thought at least P5 was safe, but now P6, P7 are very close. I'm scared. And I'm cooking the front more than the rear. That's actually quite remarkable, because the McLaren tends to just destroy the rears. Maybe one or two clicks less rear wing would do the job, or maybe to add a bit of rear anti-roll bar. What do you mean quit LMU? I'm not quitting LMU. Maybe I choose the words wrongly, but with things like Le Mans Virtual Series potentially coming soon, it's most likely that I will just not touch anything else than Le Mans Ultimate for quite some time. Not that I've been touching other things before, but big battle behind nice. How's the sim racing esports scene looking? So we've been teased with Le Mans virtual qualifiers for quite some time. It's been said, like Stephen Hood said in the updates, or like in the pre-update videos, that it will happen in late 25. It did not happen yet. So hopefully it's happening soon in, you know, in 26. And then again, we don't have hypercar tires yet. We need to get that. We don't have driver swaps in hosted servers, which is not necessarily a problem to run LMU sports. But I mean, there were some big leagues running, like VMS, having quite some splits and a bit of prize pool. And then now this Tatum Restech Championship with quite a big prize for P1 that's gonna run in Q1 26. I mean big price, 1k euros plus, because that price for win is the actual sim rig, which costs 1k. Cole, hello, thank you for the sub. But the rear of the McLaren is a bit funny now anyway, so I don't think it is safe for me to induce extra rotation by the setup. It's just probably the worst track for this car anyway. Silverstone could be tricky as well. Yeah, indeed, about ACC I'm thinking it's quite crazy that it became so popular. I never know the GT3s were such a popular class. And then a game that just solely focuses on GT3s and to have that many players. But it kind of opened the path for LMU then, because if such a dedicated sim can provide such a big interest, then a sim that just focuses on one series but with multi-class will be even more interesting, right? So I never thought that would be like an option before. Rotate. Well, the Maka has some problems, but I mean all the cars have some problems. And it's all more or less fixable by the setup. Or by the driving. So, like for all non-esport pros, it really makes sense to find out which car has your most preferred balance. Maybe not on the fixed setup, but like on good setups. Because then it's just more enjoyable. But well, to me personally, I don't mind any balance. Like I prefer front-engined cars, but if you have a good rear-engined car with nice balance, that I'm gonna still enjoy it a lot. And this McLaren is kind of like that, just it has this late exit understeer, which is a problem with the tires, I think. They should not lose that much grip when the weight has transferred to the rear. Am I gaining on P4? That's weird. Track is cooling down and the pace is returning back. 56.6. Still off pace of the leaders. This throttle stabbing, I don't know how to fix it, really. At some point you have to go on throttle, but maybe it just requires much gentle input. Well, it's gonna be awkward if I catch before. For those who joined after the incident, you can scroll back to see what happened. It was a dubious overtake by him. Now I might want to overtake him back in one way or another. I will always, of course, try to do it properly. Four to go. Oh no. Ooh. Fastest in top 5. Well, fastest on track actually, probably. That's interesting. Danish higher preload is of course a great option, but I'm already on quite high. And I've done the damper clicks. I could do more of the damper clicks. I feel like I've already kind of exhausted what the car can do there. Would be just fine-tuning. Less rear toe is also an option, or trying something with cambers. But yeah, the brake ducts, it's super interesting how they work. Still feels like they are just maybe not powerful enough. Or that maybe it's that the tires can take way too much load, so you hit up the tire much more than you should be able to, and then the ducts don't really remove that temperature. 3 to go. Just that very moment when I touch the throttle, the car just stops rotating a bit. Apex. What happened behind? Corvette disappeared. Now we're all matching the lap times. That's funny. My Biciclari is just cruising. Well, I have the pace advantage, but I don't know where to overtake. One last lap. Uh-oh. Well, we can drive like this. Yeah, you know, this is the second part of the story. I will show you the first part of the story if you just joined now, and then you will understand. Before Dennis bobbed the car. Car is slow. Yeah. Okay, I promised some dear steering wheel. Promised some donuts, and then I will show you the replay. Donuts for P4, why not? What's the tire temps? Let's get them up to 200 and then try to do a corner. Whee! Oh yeah, nah. Let's see. Let's see who is more dirty than the other. Actually, let's start at the start, because it was a super nice start. From P6. Yeah, this is always a difficult situation, like what to do, because you know that the inside is going to be very crowded, but outside is just going to be pushed off. And then, what happened there? Like, what was that? The leader did something. What was that? Okay, from his POV it feels logical. But from cars behind it feels like he just stopped the car in the middle of the apex. Then I went into power and the McLaren said understeer. Sorry. But okay, that's always very... very optimistic that you will make it 4 wide around the outside, right? Okay. I could have left a bit more space, but yeah, it's the McLaren. Then I'm on the right side, but I'm still P6 here, right? Still P6. And then people ahead do strange things. That's super nice corner, because then you're exiting, you're trying to look at others, but you don't really notice what the car behind is doing, and then suddenly you have a car on the inside. And then you can just break the latest of everyone and nobody can do anything. And then I'm on the inside. Yeah, of course I could not get the Ferrari back. But I defended that one, which is nice. Okay, that was a good start. Then we jump to the scene of the incident. Dives. Okay. So, this is the start of braking zone. Here we are braking, no overlap. The corner has quite a wide turn entry. We're entering a corner, still not sufficient overlap. I think in the rulebook it says front axle alongside the rear axle. And I'm not doing super aggressive entry, I'm just like going even wider than normally. I was planning to give him space. I did give him space, but yeah, you know, the racing line here is 2 wheels on the orange stuff and 2 wheels on the asphalt. So he did understeer into me a bit, which is kind of a Porsche thing. Pushes me out, but yeah, maybe it was dubious enough of an incident that he felt like he didn't have to give the place back. But okay. Then we go towards the end. Of course, he knows he can accept a dive, so he defends. But then he has a little bit of Antonelli moment. But the McLaren is just accelerating like crazy. Huge mechanical grip. STX, oh, you are Mr. Stachitsky, if I understand correctly. Okay, then we are going side by side. This is this can be interpreted differently. I'm ahead going into the corner, so at that point, by some rule book, you would have to leave the space to the car to the outside all the way through, but there are other interpretations where you can at that point have the right to the line, but you know, I'm here, I don't know what's happening. I feel like we are fully side by side, but suddenly we are both going off. Alright, and then I'm like, nah, I'm having that apex, like I'm having it, so I dived into it. But actually, funny enough, like I'm fully alongside. I'm fully alongside enough when the contact happens, so I don't think I can be blamed for that. Yeah, all right. I mean, I'm not really trying to blame anybody harshly. It's just analyzing what happened and what can happen and what the rules say. But no, that was a very good dive actually, because yeah, the Porsche cannot do anything against it. I'm there on the apex, and you know what? Like the mirror shows as if I'm still kind of behind, but this mirror is trolling because I'm not really behind. I'm fully alongside. Well, there is a radar, of course. I will have to reload it. I will have to reload because the juiciest part is still yet to come. How much did I lose? I lost rank. I don't understand this. Like I gained 2 arrows up, but 1 arrow down 2 times, but I'm still losing DR. Anyway, championship standings. It doesn't crash this time. Oh, the new kind of grid. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight for this championship with the McLaren, I think, unless somehow the BOP turns around very much in the upcoming rounds. Let's see. Okay, reload the replay. Replay, load. It did look a lot worse live than on the replay, like in all aspects. As my millimoles are falling down very quickly, so let me have a bit of a glucose. Fastest lap Bahrain. GT3 or hypercar? But yeah, again, I think on Paul Ricard, I would be able to fight for P1, but I forgot to close or to open the duct, so I just cooked the tires. And at Sebring, I think the McLaren is really decent, even in quali and sprint races. But here at Qatar, yeah, I think it's effectively 6, 7, 8 tenths gap between Porsche and McLaren. And Ferrari is quite quick as well in quali. So where are we? I'm surprised that the Porsche did not defend. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Wait. Anyway, so right, I dive into it. We have the contact, and then I'm looking at the radar and the mirror, and we all know what's gonna happen, right? We all know what's gonna happen, so I just try to take a switchback, but I miscalculated a bit because it's a McLaren and the rotation doesn't start. It was just a bit of a love tap. Eh? Wait, is STX, was it giving you a cut here? Because yeah, still on the break, right? Wait, what am I doing here? OBS chat preview. Come on. Sorry, one moment. Technical issue. I cannot see what I'm showing. Okay, replay is there. Okay, all good. Hello? Eh? Fully frozen. I don't want to exit the replay, I want to play. Dear Studio 397, why is the replay this bad? 10 years ago in R Factor 2 it was perfectly smooth, it was showing everything, even the milliseconds of the position and the lap times and it was all perfect, but now it just freezes. And it's super laggy and super shit. I am fed up with, like, if nothing else, then I'm fed up with the replay. Because this system of the replay is the biggest garbage that I have ever experienced in a sim that started with F1 Challenge and then went RF1, RF2 and LMU. Anyway, enough of this, let's reload and just check the final moment. So you had a red cut, okay. You had the red cut. That's kind of a drawdown of the system as well, right? Having to brake, like if you don't brake, you will get the drive-through, but you're kind of forced to brake early because you don't know at what point you get the drive-through. So you're forced to brake immediately, even though that could mean that you're just completely brake checking the cars behind, but that's a problem of the cut system. It should be displaying the seconds, like how many seconds you have and so on. Or maybe it should be forcing to be offline before you give the time back. Loading. Loading. Loading, loading, loading. Why does it not work? It's broken. Now I will show it. Like LMU will not have the better of me here. I will quit the game. I will relaunch it and I will load it until it works. The bug will not beat me. Le Mans Ultimate. Launch. Come on, load. Loading. Loading, loading, loading. Replace. Load replay. Some things I just cannot understand. I mean, I know that they kind of had to redo the whole UI to some extent for the replays. It's funny how this scene kind of breaks sometimes. Like in the middle, it's still like a pixel of black dots. Sometimes that pixel is not a pixel, but like 1 centimeter of black dots. Like the transition freezes. But I don't know, like in RF2 it was just so smooth, the replays, everything was working perfectly. But now, 2 years into LMU, nothing works. Like we cannot click on a driver in practice session and see all the lap times and sectors, or like during a race. And when the replay loads, it's so super stuttery, super laggy. Such a shame. But okay. It's still early access in my feeling, in my heart. This is still V0.7. Yorkata, thank you for the sub. Okay, we got the replay. Okay, let's not jump between different spots of the replay because it's gonna break again. But there we go. Maybe this is easier to see. If OBS cooperates, it does. Okay, I dive, bonk. He goes off, cuts across, gets a red cut, has to brake. And then, you know, if you smash somebody into the rear, it's always your fault, kind of. But that always is not really always. Because at this point, I could never... I should have expected that there will be maybe some braking because of potential red cut, but it's second to last corner of the last lap, you're not thinking of that, so I did the switchback, I tried to go for it, I couldn't. Okay. It was a street fight, you know. Street fight, street justice, all good. Now let's check the Corvette. Okay, this happened a bit before. The Corvette was following me pretty close, and then the rear detaches from the car. Classic Corvette. Goes behind. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's not nice. But okay. Well, it's public lobby, right? It's split one, full of trusted drivers, but it's still a public lobby. Porsche going deep. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. And then he gets illegal overtake, right? Wait. Yeah, no. This is a bit... this is not racing anymore, it's outside of the track, so... Yeah, then he has to brake because he did overtake off track, and there is the system that tells you you have to give the place back. Goes for the apex. Oh, okay. That's a intriguing. Oh, wait, what? Ah, yeah, it's illegal overtake again. So he has to brake. He brakes, gets rammed into the rear. Maybe it was not illegal overtaking. Maybe it was just orange cut or something. What is this fight like? It's as if they were like trying to cost themselves maximum possible race time. It's an orange cut, okay. No, it's weird because, I mean, how does the game calculate? Because you entered the off-track behind and returned to track ahead. So I would assume it would be illegal overtake, but maybe because the speed was so low, because you were both very tight to the apex, it did not give you the illegal overtake. I mean, I guess at this point, still no crash, so in the end it was all in good spirits and... Alright. It was just a funny little battle. And if I may, before I close the stream, how did Ciklari get the lead? Oh, okay. What is it with this corner? Like this corner doesn't like cars. Okay, that was a weird downshift, but still. The GT3s... I don't know what is it about the tires. They feel best they have ever felt. The most realistic, and so on, but sometimes the rear just decides it's gonna go. Then again, in real life you're never pushing that hard to the limit, because you have much more degradation and wear, which LMU is kind of failing to simulate to some extent. The race times are always like second or 2 seconds off the quali pace, but in real life it's like 5 seconds. Well, to me LMU has been very worth it. 2 years in... 2 years, 1000 hours plus for me. and I've enjoyed racing and doing content, and it's still growing, right? It's in the first stage of its life, or like in the second stage now that the people have understood that it's a good place to be. There is a lot of variety of racing to be had, and it's still more is still to come. Yeah, some people say 1.1 were much better, but in a way, the feeling of the limit, Porsche and McLaren on 1.1 were just impossible. And now they feel like actual car, and the LMP2 on 1.1 was very tricky and very strange. Like a proper death machine, and in low speed, super difficult to drive and quite unrealistic, I think, with the rear snaps. But now it's such a nice car. Porsche ATM doesn't use rears at all. Ah, that to me that sounds like a setup problem, maybe. Like with the McLaren, the way I had to do the setup, now it's actually wearing the front more as well. But if it's on a balanced set, if you can drive it without the rear killing you, then the rear would be wearing much more. And yeah, you now can handle much higher rake, so well, depends on the rear wing, of course, and so on. But well, I think it's dinner time for me. So funny little stream, 4 very intriguing races. I hope it's gonna be a bit better at Sebring. So now we have this special event, but there is so many special events that this is not really special anymore. Like, it's just an event that's being called special, but it's not special. I'm thinking of doing it. I'm thinking of doing it in the McLaren GT3 on Saturday afternoon, but let's see. I think the McLaren could be really good around here. Yeah, it's just driver swap event, and it's a shame because at the same time we've got the round 2 of the online championships, like this one. Where are you? World Endurance Championship. Round 2 is Imola, yeah. So then some people are here, some people are not. How many entries are there? So it's really not popular, you know? Not many entries. And it's not a big surprise to me, because you just cannot have big endurance team events all the time. It's just oversaturated. This has been a bit of a miss, in my opinion. It's great to have, but not in a way like this. I don't know. They will think of something and it's gonna be fixed. Right. Well, if I don't see you guys before next Tuesday, then I'm gonna wish you all Merry Christmas. Have a lot of great moments in the festive season, but maybe see you on track for Sebring. And that's all I have to say. So thank you all for watching, for subbing, for commenting, for liking. Much appreciated. Well, have a nice one. Bye bye.